Happy fall season, everybody. It's actually still like 80 degrees here in Indianapolis, but I don't know about you. I'm the type of person who pulls out all of my fall decorations on September 1st so that I can enjoy it longer. So today I'm going to be showing you how to paint pumpkins with watercolor. That way you can start decorating your house and get in the fall mood. Let's go ahead and grab our paintbrushes and get started. Okay, let's go ahead and briefly go over what materials we're going to use in today's painting. So I always have two brushes with me. I've got a size 12 and a size 8 watercolor brush. And then of course we've got our pencil to sketch out our pumpkin on our watercolor paper. And today I'm going to be using the Praying Oval 16 watercolor kit. You can find these materials linked in the description below. This one is a super affordable watercolor kit that you can find on Amazon. So we're going to go ahead and start out with our sketch of this pumpkin, and you can go ahead and take your pencil. I like to try to break down these steps in the simplest way possible. So what we're going to do is start with an oval for the base of the pumpkin. And I want this to fill up most of our paper. You can make it whatever size you'd like, or you can always make multiple pumpkins. I'm just going to be doing one for the sake of this tutorial. Now we want this oval to be wider, going landscape rather than portrait. So go ahead and just make it a little bit wider here. And then once you have a rough sketch, go ahead and make an indent about just a little bit lower than the top of our oval here. This is going to help make our pumpkin look a little bit more 3D. This is where that top of like the stem is going to be. So just make a semicircle, and then we're going to make our stem just above that. And again, just go ahead and just make a semicircle line for that stem. You can make this however you'd like. Some pumpkin stems like twirl, so however you'd like to draw this out. And then I'm going to just add in some more definition here and make some of those lines that you see on the pumpkin. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just like make some oval shapes here. And even you can kind of go over the lines that you already sketched. And this will help really define the shape of our pumpkin before we start out our painting. It always just helps to sketch out where you're going to be painting. Makes it a little bit less stressful, at least for me. Once you are happy with your sketch of the pumpkin, we can go ahead and grab our paintbrushes and start painting. So I'm going to take my larger paintbrush here, and like I always say in watercolor tutorials, we are going to start light and start to layer over. So you can make this pumpkin whatever color you want. I'm going to do just like a light orange one. So we're just taking our orange, a little bit of white here, maybe add in some brown to make it a little bit more muted. And again, you can make this whatever style you like. If you want like a bright painting, you can do that, or if you want a more muted look, which is what I usually go for, whatever you prefer. And we're just gonna go ahead and take this light wash all over our pumpkin. Now the reason why we are staying light first is because there are some areas of this pumpkin that we want to leave highlighted, and that really helps with making our paintings look more 3D is when you have good use of shadows and light. So once we have our base layer, we can go ahead and just start layering over some darker colors. I'm just going to take this orange again, maybe some brown, and just start to add that in. Now I'm going to stick to the lines that we sketched out and kind of leave the center of our ovals lighter. So we're just going around here, and notice how since we already have a base layer, it's blending really well. It's called the wet on wet technique, where the paint starts to bleed after you already have a wet layer. Now that we have our darker colors in there, I'm actually going to take my smaller brush and start to continue layering over those colors. So I want to add in just some variation in color. I'm going to do maybe a little bit of red with our orange, add those darker colors, maybe even purple, and just start to tap that in. I really love how quick and easy this painting can be. Sometimes you just need something easy and fun to paint. I love doing complicated paintings because they always turn out so beautiful, but sometimes these short paintings are just really what makes you relaxed, and you can do this while you're watching TV. It's fun to make something, especially around the change in season. I actually pulled out all of my fall decor yesterday. It was September 1st yesterday, so that's usually when I decorate. And I will be pulling out my Christmas decor on November 1st. I like to, some people find that a little bit too early, but I like to enjoy the decorations for as long as possible. So again, I'm just continuing to layer on however long I feel like it. I'm gonna add in some more orange here on maybe one side of the pumpkin. It helps to add in the color on one side because, again, that helps with our depth of the painting. And I'm also going to keep it a little bit darker towards the bottom of the pumpkin because that's where shadows would tend to fall. So I usually tend to make a mess in my paint, and what you can do to get rid of paint is to get a little bit of water on here in a paper towel and just blot that out. I always get paint on my finger and just spread it all over. Sometimes watercolor is hard to get off, and what I'll end up doing is just going over it with another color for the background to kind of cover up my mistakes. So you can always do that if you need to. So again, I'm just going to continue layering on. Let me know when you find it acceptable to start decorating for the next season. Lots of mixed opinions I hear about that. But you can do whatever makes your heart happy. So I'm actually going to take some purple, maybe some brown here. Again, put that in the bottom and in the lines of the pumpkin. And then once your paint starts to bleed a little bit, you can just wipe off the color from your brush, and if you need to just blend it better, you can take your brush and just go over it with a wet wash. I think it kind of helps your pumpkin have a little bit more character when it's not completely smooth, so don't stress if like your paint is kind of dotted up. I think it always kind of adds to the texture of the pumpkin rather than focusing on making it too smooth. Those real pumpkins have those texture lines in it. Okay, again, we're going to take our dark color here, and I want to put that at the base of our stem. Give it a little bit more of those shadows. And let's go ahead and paint our stem. So we're going to take a brown and a white. Ooh, got way too much white on my paintbrush. Go ahead and take our brown and white. Go ahead and lift that up. And go ahead and just start with our light shade first. And then we can go in with some darker colors. So I'm going to take brown and purple and go ahead and just start to add that in on the left side and the bottom. Now, once you have your pumpkin done and you're happy with it, you can leave it as is on the white paper, or you can add a little bit of a background, which I'm going to do here. And I'm just going to take a light shade here of white, maybe a little bit of red, and maybe some brown, just to get a very light off-white color here. And I'm just going to take that all around our pumpkin. And again, this can help you cover up any little mistakes that you might have done. Just going all around. I always think these backgrounds kind of just add a little bit extra to the painting. And you don't have to make a perfect square. Do whatever you feel like for your painting. And we are all done with our pumpkin painting. I hope you all enjoyed this video today and walk away with a beautiful pumpkin painting. I have some more fall tutorials coming out in the coming weeks, so be sure to go check those out. If you followed this tutorial, I'd love to see your work. You can always find me on social media at Watercolor with Emily. And as always, I'd love if you like, subscribe, or comment on this video. It's always so good to hear from you. Until we paint again next time.